So welcome everybody to our webinar today. It's about AI in content marketing. My name is Stefan. I'm the CEO and founder of System in Motion. We host those webinars every month. Maybe some of you already join some of our webinars. And the topic is always about artificial intelligence, AI, generative AI. And we try every month to bring experts in one field, one industry, to have different perspectives and different ideas about how AI is influencing this industry. What are the things that are really important? Yeah. So today I'm very happy to welcome three experts, each of them in a different field. So these experts, I'm going to ask them a lot of tricky questions to get as much knowledge as I can out of them. So first, we have Napoleon Biggs. Napoleon, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I've been in Asia for 30 years in digital marketing, building products for 25 years, and about a year and a half ago, dove deep into AI, and I'll share more with you later.
Thank you, Napoleon. And Darius, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Darius. I'm on our full plan. We're a creative company. Our focus is actually creative solutions. So we work first with algorithm. Today we talk about artificial intelligence tools. But yeah, still we started the company in 2003. Now still 4 years in Shanghai.
Thank you, Darius. And then for once, ladies last. So Minfei, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Minfei. So I've been working in consulting and corporate strategy for several years. And now I am the assistant manager in Pernod Ricard. And I'm driving the business transformation, especially including the digital transformation and AI transformation in Pernod Ricard.
Thank you, Minfei. So I'm French, so every French people know about Pernod Ricard, but I think we have some people here who are not French, a few of them. So can you quickly introduce Pernod Ricard to our audience?
Sure. I think maybe some of you might not know Pernod Ricard, but I think most of you are familiar with our brands. So we have Martell Cognac, as well as Absolute Vodka, as well as the Béguet Rouet Champagne, and many white spirits and brown spirits, including whiskey. So for Pernod Ricard, we have this slogan called creators of conviviality. So what do conviviality? We mean that we want to bring the happiness and wellness of grouping people together. So in recent years, we've been seeing the huge potential of AI, that AI can bring this conviviality to our consumers, our partners, as well as our internal colleagues. So Pernod Ricard as a very traditional consumer industry company, but we are putting much efforts in AI transformation and to know more about how can AI impact our business.
So for Pernod Ricard, what is important when we're talking about image, text, about using AI to generate all these assets? What is important to the brands and to the group?
Okay, I'm very glad that you are talking about image generation, and truly it's a very hot topic in Pernod Ricard now. And for this point, I want to mention 3 aspects. So I think as a brand, as a traditional brand, the first of all principle is the brand consistency. Actually, for many international platforms or Chinese local platforms, we have internally tested the image generation functions, including the Doubao from China, as well as the DAOI Midjourney from the global market. We have tested those platforms, but the problem or the challenge that we met is that it cannot 100% sustain the brand consistency, which means that, for example, I tell Midjourney today to generate a picture with Absolute Vodka. Then you will see something like Absolute VOGA like the spelling is totally wrong, right? And also the bottle itself, it doesn't appear to be our brand image. And also there are many other concerns, including like the toning and also how this product is presented. It's not brand consistent at all. So we have met this challenge, and internally we are still building a platform, an internal AI engine to generate our brand specific images, including we are testing with Absolute. We want to generate an image that is 100% liaised with our bottle itself. And that's something we are still testing and building as an AI platform. So yeah, brand consistency, I think it's first of all, the most important. We want to ensure that those images are appearing to our consumers as the right brand image. And the second thing I want to really mention is also the creativity. I think with the evolution of AI, at the very early or first stage, we want to use it as just a very simple tool to generate simple images. But then this relationship has actually changed. We want to use it as our brainstorming assistants. For example, today, our brand team, they are trying to use AI to make it as an assistant to different ideas. So they are not purely inputting prompts and then, okay, we got the image. They will continuously ask the AI to generate different images, and the brand team themselves, they remain their creativity or their soul of brand as human. They will make judgments to different images, and then they combine the most essence or the most beautiful parts of AI, and then they will create those images still by themselves. It's a kind of new ways of working for them. So creativity, no matter it's for human or it's for AI, it's a very important part for our brand. And the last point I want to mention is just what I'm talking about. It's the ways of working or the mindset change. So for AI, we have tested internally with different scenarios, and we figured out that actually for different scenarios, we have different users. For example, today I'm briefing my agency, then the user, I'm the marketing user. But tomorrow I'm a HR. I want to give a training to different people that want to learn AI, for example. I will generate images based on my HR needs. And tomorrow, it's the commercial people. They want to illustrate the product usage to a specific consumer. They will quickly generate images. So there are different scenarios, different users, and we as the transformation team, we are very interested in building the new process of using AI. And we want to build a very governed platform that is reassuring our brand assets as well as our data security to really empower our colleagues, but in a very governed and secured way. So yes, this kind of ways of working and process change, it's also something that is very important for us.
Thank you very much, Mingfei. I hear quality. I mean, you putting the bar pretty high in terms of rendering quality, product. I would say authenticity in the way it's done, and I really like your point about creativity, about how AI through randomness can like bring more ideas through the quantity. So you talk mainly about images, but is Pernod Ricard also looking into videos? And have you started to test those tools?
Yes. Actually, video is quite interesting too, because we start our testing from a pain point. What we see from today's video platforms, including Douyin, Xiaohongshu, those platforms, they require a large quantity of videos. But on the other hand, our resources from brand, it's very limited. They cannot shoot videos every day, right? But those platforms, they require those videos, and consumers' preference and what they want to see is constantly changing. So the speeds, but the resource is not balanced. So we see this opportunity that we can use AI to understand our current data assets, including different videos that are already in our platform. And AI can understand those platforms and then to remix those videos together and then to push to those platforms. So in here, one thing is that we are saving a lot of time to generate those videos, because you see the Douyin is changing every day, every minute. So we can speed up our video production process. And the second thing that we are saving a lot of resources to remix those videos. So this is a testing that we are still undergoing, and we already see some very satisfying results. And we also say that this is a very large opportunity for our brand team to generate videos for the short videos platforms.
Yeah, I still shoot my own videos the old way with myself and a camera, and I understand how hungry the social media platforms are about a new video every day, or maybe more than one. So I can relate to that. Darius, you're being an agency, you also work with like different brands. Do you see a similar approach with other brands than what Minfei has described?
I appreciate it. First, I think we talk about something like because you say this, we have many tools on the market, and the market change every day, right? And I think first I start with the critical part. I don't believe that we have to focus too much on the creativity with computer. This makes no sense, because if everybody is using AI tools, end of the day you don't have anything, right? You have something like gray something. Everybody do use the same tool. End of the day, you have this same result of something, and this make no sense. I strongly believe we can use AI like supporting tool, but not necessarily like create a tool. You say you say few platform. Few days ago is coming new platform to the market, and my colleagues start to use it. That's called Flora, I think. And how do you this is actually the next level of tools. You don't have one tool in the platform, you have also 12 tools in one platform. Because you say the issue, which everybody knows, is how to create something consistency in the design, right? You want to have only the style. And the biggest problem for myself is I don't want to look like this or this and 100 of them. I want to have my style, my statements. I want to have the text. They have to be exactly how I say that, etc. And this was like last week is popping 3 on new platform. They use a different way for combination of tools, and overnight you can do it. It's absolutely no problem, right? Which means I think this only tooling. I don't want to make this easy, as tool still is something what is very complex. Maybe I can open only one page. You can see pretty easy what I talk about, because give me a second. Like this, hop, and in a second, I prepare myself, of course, pretty good. Tick, 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 tick. And this part, hop, and then I click. Sorry, I think.
Well, we can come back to it later, Darius. It's fine. Hold that thought, and I'll come back to you later. So Napoleon, same question. I mean, you heard what Minfei described about the way Pernod Ricard, which is a group, so many brands are approaching AI. Do you see similar approach in your customers and people who are looking for AI image generation?
I see what I call pro-am, which is a lot of people fiddling. There's a lot of fiddling and a lot of people trying to discover how to use it. The problem about a lot of these tools, they're not very good at educating the user. I slightly disagree with Darius. I think these are more than tools, because what we have found is, we built a solution, you'll see later, by engineers, is if you bring in somebody who's an expert in their field, a designer, an architect, a fashion person, they will come in and they'll use their terminology, their jargon, their reference points, and suddenly what was a very ugly image suddenly wakes up and it's like, oh my God, this looks exactly like, you know, a fashion design, an interior design, a bottle of vodka. So I actually think bringing industry experts inside these tools to use them is where the meeting of two is perfect, right? The output is great. The problem is most people just go and fiddle with Mid-Journey and they upload a picture of themselves wearing a rather colorful shirt, a bit like Darius. And, you know, that's the end of it, right? They go, yeah, fine, doesn't do what doesn't look like me. Right?
First of all, I love it when guests disagree, because then we have a debate and we can move forward. So, Napoleon, can you tell us about Instant Studio and the problem you see today with these AI tools, and how you and your team has thought about solving that problem? And of course, we would love to see some examples of the beautiful picture that you are able to generate. So please share your screen and your thoughts and how you see the
sure.
the problem today and how you're solving it. Mm-hmm.
Can you see my screen now? Is it all clear?
Yeah, very good. Go on.
Luckily, all of the issues Min-Fei has brought up, we can address, which so we can continue this conversation later. But as you can see here, so Instant Studio is actually a company born out of Guangzhou. So this is a Chinese company, but owned by Americans and Chinese. And what we were set up is to basically tame AI, because there's a lot of different, as Darius was saying, lots of tools coming up, lots of open source stuff, lots of closed source stuff. How do you make it work? So, and as you can see here, the main things, this is for enterprise, right? So we're building this not for consumers, but for enterprise. To tackle consistency, to make it on brand. And the issue that brands have is, how do I do it at scale? So a few pictures here, but I'll dive in. Well, I just want to point out here that about 6 months ago, it was really hard to put text into images, but the technology has now moved that you can have text in images. Logos are still a bit messy, but I think text image is very interesting evolution. First thing I want to say is, don't become a prompt engineer, complete waste of time. To me, it's like HTML. When people first built websites, they all learned HTML, and then along came drag and drop and HTML5, and that's where the adoption came. So I think mass adoption of AI and the tools will happen when it's all drag and drop, which happens to be an area that we're strong at, right? Yeah. So a little test for you and maybe the audience is, which one of these two lovely young ladies is real, Kaya or Ruth?
So put the name, for all the participants, put the name of the lady who is a real lady into the chat, and we'll have a very quick count by looking at it. So go ahead quickly. So 2 for Kaya, 2 for Ruth, 3 for Ruth, 5 for Ruth, 5, 3. Kaya, probably both fake, Ruth, Kaya. It looks like 50-50 to me.
Yes, so that's interesting, because everything's, because they all think because Ruth has got her hands in her pockets, and you know, AI is famous for not being good on fingers. Actually, the answer is Ruth is the real one, used on Shein. So you can see she's the real one. But what I want to point out is the detail. About 6 months ago, you couldn't get this kind of texture, or even with garments, the folds, and so it's really moving very, very fast, right? To get before is a bit kind of shiny and a bit fake looking. And then I think what we found is interesting is we're in a multimedia world, right? Most product is consumed on Douyin, on Weixin, on TikTok. It's all about live commerce. So I think the interesting kind of next element is turning into photo shoots. So we see a lot of clients come to us, not in the French kind of, you know, chic French Parisian style. This is, you know, fast fashion. Fast fashion is about turnaround every 5 days, 2 weeks. They don't have the time to book a model to go out and, you know, and do a studio and all this. So this is just examples of kind of what the output could be in a video space. So the problems that we've seen, the pain point we've seen, is one of them is this kind of ethnic mix, because as the world, the Americans start to shut down all the walls between all our lovely countries, there's less travel going on. To find people of a certain mix, of a certain Body size is a challenge, right? So great thing is having these tools. Once you've got consistent models, as you can see, these are actually, we've got consistent models of these people, is that you can then obviously have different body shapes, different sizes, different ethnic backgrounds, which becomes very important on, you know, when you're selling stuff in retail and online, because people don't identify themselves with that product if it doesn't look like that, or it's not their body shape, right? In the problem about e-commerce, you know, 4 out of 5 items get returned, which is very expensive for a brand. Maybe not in the alcohol business, but in the garment business for sure, right? The other thing is, another pain point is children. A lot of people don't want to have children online. Children grow, children don't sit still. So what we've found is that the detail, 6 months ago, you wouldn't get this kind of detail, but being able to you know, have children models, a lot of brands out there now are, you know, selling children's products, and then being able to, if I'd zoomed into 4K 6 months ago, I would have been nervous, and you would all can be laughing at me. Here you can see the detail is carried across, so it's amazing in the advancement of this technology. The idea is once you've got a model and you've trained it, is to turn it into something that can be used not just online but for adult posters or whatever. So it's moving quite fast in that space. The other pain point we see is people wanting to localize in the ad world. There's always a thing about localizing or personalizing. You know, this is an original Chanel bottle. Now, I don't know why they posed like this, but the original pose is like this. So obviously it's localizing it to that market, right? And what's interesting here, it's not just a face swap. You know, it's the hair, it's the clothing, it's the shoulders, and the age. So I think the ability to do that, and this is becoming now automated. So an ad network can go in and you could basically put in different ad formats and it would generate the ad on the fly for somebody to serve, right? So very interesting evolution. I don't know how many of you have pets, but according to my friends, pets are replacing children, and we spend around 12,000 US a year looking after them. So big business. Here, this little dog, you know, obviously, again, people are very sensitive about, you know, their pet's very protective. So what we do, not to go deep into the technology, is to basically identify the items, the food, the pet, and then make it easy to replace. So you can see here it's been replaced with a corgi. So again, having the ability to do this with technology means that it will shorten the time to market and allow people to serve ads, whether it's in social or ad networks or their own websites, right?
And can you do video? Oh, that's the video. Oh, I was about to ask you. All right.
Yeah, no, this dog's going to sit here for the next 10 minutes. No, this dog, the sound's a bit weak, but there is a little tune. So obviously here it's just to illustrate, you know, once you've got these images, like Minfei was saying, is once you have the images, is loading them into kind of video generators and getting them to create, you know, a story, right? This is not much of a story, it's short, but to show you just how amazingly realistic you can create ads. We have ones of the dog actually eating the pet food. And initially it's weird because the food doesn't disappear, but you have to play with AI to teach it, right? Another area we see issue with is product design. And this could be Minfei's bottles, but in this case it's phones. One of your friends, Stefan, you know, when you're selling products, all made in China, of course, it's, you know, how do you brand these? How do you, the variety of design? It's a nightmare to take everyone and take a shot of it, put it in a studio, becomes too costly, right? The margin's not there. So what we did is we came up with this idea that you basically render it in 3D, which then allows you, if you've created it in 3D, you know, with AI, you're able to extract it and say, okay, I need a different angle for my website. I need the back, the front, the side. I need 45 degrees. So it enables you to combine technologies and say, right, here is a 3D mold, as it were, like the old days of molds. We need shots of these angles. We want to use these on e-commerce. And then, of course, talking about video, is again using AI generation. We're able to make it a little bit more. Ooh, don't run there. It's gone green. Has it gone green on your screen? It's gone green on my screen.
Yes.
It should have been green. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, what happens is the hand rotates thanks to PowerPoint. There we go. So, people like to see product in hands. They like to see the feel, what it looks like. So again, makes it very friendly to the current version of the internet, which is all about sharing and social media. And the last thing I want to share is children again. I have 4 of them, but this is interesting, is the entertainment world. Children have short attention spans, 2D cartoons that don't excite them anymore. So seeing yourself as a child in a picture is very exciting, but then seeing yourself in an animation is even more exciting. So there's a project at the zoo, right, to get people to learn about animals, etc. My last bit is me. So if you want to scan this code, I'll connect to you. That's the real me. And I've got a little gift here you don't know about, Stefan. For anybody who's in the audience that has their phone in their hand, scan this QR code on the right, and you will be taken to a little CNY card. I know Chinese New Year's kind of over, but we're still in the year of the snake. And go and upload a photo, and you'll have your own beautifully created CNY card.
I think the last part is, I think Napoleon, the last part is really interesting, because it's taking the consumer, in that case the kids who go to the zoo, and bring them inside the adventure. I remember like a few years back, my son had to, we went to the Harry Potter exhibition in UK. So there was a studio, and they had to shoot him on a green screen, and then they gave us the movie. They made it like such a huge thing, quite heavy production. We still have the USB stick. What you've done now is you've reduced and you shrunk that to like, I can do it with my handphone in a couple of seconds, right? So this is really changing, I think, the highly personalized entertainment industry. That's quite transformative, and we're only starting to scratch the surface, right? So Mingfei?
Yes, I joke about it because, when people go to zoos, they always come back with, my dad went to Singapore and all he brought back was this damn T-shirt. So I like the idea of the 3D kind of, interaction.
Yeah, and less clothes, less fast fashion. So Mingfei, based on what you've seen from Napoleon, listening to Napoleon, I have a question that came to my mind. Is this going to change the relationship between the brands and the agencies? Because somehow now the brands have so many tools at the tip of their hands, and as you said, Mingfei, Pernod Ricard is looking into using those tools. So is it going to change the dynamic between brands and agency?
Yeah, yes, I think definitely, because now we know that they have so many tools in hand, then we charge less, then they need to charge less, right? But yeah, I think it's so one thing that is the most important is that now we realize that this image generation tool like Instant Studio, it can be so powerful, but we need to ensure that the brand assets and the brand equity is within the brand. So we need to ensure that first the data security or the core model is within the brand. So that's a very administrative thing. But for example, if now we are signing a contract with our agencies, we need to ensure that the IP and also the AI generated image itself within the brand control. So I think there are many legal or IP aspects to think about. But on the other hand, we are so glad that no matter it's agency or us, we have this powerful tool, and even us, we can use this tool to better brief our agencies. For example, we have many agencies that should take videos or will have photo shooting, and we can leverage those tools to brief them so that we can communicate more effectively. This is already something that we are doing. So I think we are very glad to see that this powerful tool can both facilitate agencies and brands and also the communications.
Sorry, can I add one thing, Stefan? That
Sure, go ahead.
The data privacy thing is very interesting. It's a good point. It's one of the our selling points is that, when you go to Midjourney, all these big guys, you're sharing it into, you know, this big machine, right? You don't know where it is. Whereas we have it on private servers, private GPUs, so brands are very comfortable to have this, you know, in that way, because it's their data, it's controlled by them, it's not going off to some giant machine that's being fed to the Americans, whatever. So I think it's, you know, it's definitely, there is a technical side behind this, which is, you know, is also very important, technical legal IP side behind it.
Yeah, I think that the whole conundrum is like, as you explained, Minfei, like for the brand to have an efficient relationship with the agency, they need to give them everything and ready for the AI to digest. But once they have everything, they can do everything and they can do anything. So how do you control that between efficiency, as you said, cost, and then still remain in control? I think it's a very, very interesting topic. And I really like your comment about the brief. I know that agencies always complain about the brief not being clear enough, and there are a lot of debates. Somehow now you can generate not the finished product, but you can generate something that is advanced enough so that they have all the elements, and then they can work work on them. Yeah. So which gives a nice transition to Darius. So Darius, from your side, so still I would say on the creativity, design, agency, and brands, how do you think the AI is changing that whole dynamic? And did you see that coming? You know, so if you can share your
I try to say again. The topic is not really new topic, and many colleagues they work in the design theory. I hope you can see that now.
Yes.
The work in design theory, they started to talk about stuff like this, let's say 10 years and more ago, right? We start to talk and ask ourselves, what is the next step if you have so many algorithms? This is from 2017. We make it as research. There's only one picture from, right? But the idea was to say, if we have so many platforms and bots, what is the next step, and how do you want to exist like a design company, right? And the second part, okay, we make some research. What's changed? If I'm here, right, if I have some infrastructure, how is my life changed? And you have to ask yourself and your team, before you start to play with tools, how I can find some position for my brand. And this is also from 2017. This is not the joke. This is idea that we say, okay, if we have on one side B2B, right? So typically we have companies or design companies on the one side, and the opposite side, we have something like customer. They call it Arabic, they call it Chinese or Hindu, whatever, and they talk in different languages, etc. And we have something in between. We call this the oracle, right? But the problem is it is not possible to talk directly from A to B, right? You have something what is between, which means if I customer, if I have my Clark shoes, that my AI tool or assistant know exactly every 2 years I have to change that shoe, and I know that my assistant know that I find of Instagram, or maybe I talk with friend about kind of style that I like, and they order this for me, because everybody knows that it's really terrible to go online and buy some shoe in the shop. And we say, okay, actually this is the topic. How do you want to find here for this exactly this kind of infrastructure your position? Because of course we can talk about tools and we can talk, look, you can change picture, you can do faces. Okay, this is Napoleon is the professional guy, and I think he do this 100% good. My job is much more go in this direction. How I can find clients from this left side to the right side, right? How I can combine brands with them together. Because let's say I try to say in 6 months we have the first tough assistant on the market, but I know, and they start to be very funny, because then I don't need to go online to find stuff. If the quality of statement and also design is not changing, right? And is everybody start to create quantity of picture, nobody want to see that. This is true, right? If I say 1,000 of picture, I'm like, why I have to want to, that's not what I want to see. I want to have some kind of quality. And I think the whole quality, exclusivity is going much more in the real world, right? And the digital world is still existing, but this is only like support. This is what we say in the first page, this part, right? This will be like not existing supporting word, which means I need something what tell me, there's a new Clark shoes, right? Maybe I see it on my interest group or maybe some another groups. And then as my assistant can find the shoe for me. And I think this is something what we have to talk about. And I have only 3 pages. This is how the system is going. Right? You have on the left side something, and on the right side, you have also something. And this is actually the infrastructure. And this is what you can do this today. The cost you maybe one day, if you're professional, maybe also one day. And you can choose this in different variation. You can create new model, etc. I think something like this is now complex, but you can fix, right? I don't worry about it. I worry much more about this topic. And this is actually the biggest topic now for many brands. And I think we have to start to talk much more about this topic and not about tools. I create so a few statements for that, how to fix that, because I strongly believe we focus too much on the tool. I know this is amazing and think that we can create today. We do this also. If we create for let's say for Vans, so extraordinary complex event for half a year. And I think, holy moly, few months ago, for 2 years ago, I need some 20, 30 people for that. We do this with 4 people together, with design, with infrastructure, with research, etc. This is the tool, but only that, right? The rest is definitely human and have nothing to do with AI. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have a few follow-up questions. If you can go back to the big diagram, the B2AI to AI to me. Can you go back there?
I hope. Can do it. Just a second. This part, right?
Yeah. So if I understand that diagram correctly, what makes you think that humans would like to talk to an AI instead of a brand? Because when there's no AI in a human, I'm talking to a brand and the brand is replying, and you say now the brand talks to an AI and me as a consumer, I talk to the AI. Did I get it correctly? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it? Why will it be better?
I don't think we will. Of course, it's very easy to talk to AI, right? This is something what is existing and I can use, but I don't believe that we want to do that. I think we have to focus much more from the brand position, much more in the direction, hey, let's create communities, interest communities, the close to our brand. Let's say if we have a company, let's say some car company like Audi, the Audi can create some small community and support the small community, let's say digital fashion community, electronic music community, something like that. And this makes much more sense for the brand to create community platforms because they belong not really to me, but they push my image. And the AI itself is only tool, which means end of the day, I don't want to go online and search for the new Clark shoes. I want to just say to my assistant, which will be existing in this is only topic about months. I say, I want to have the new red Clarks. And they know exactly there's a 42, there's a red. They go online and check all the shops around China, because I live in Shanghai, where's the best price? They order the stuff, and a few days later, I have this here in the front of my door. And I think this system start to be now, let's say for the next 2 years, would be normal as standard, which I don't want to say we don't need visual language. I don't want to say we don't need visuals in generally. This is a very important part, right? If I go in Instagram, I want to say something, there's somebody who have this product, I have some joke, I have something what make me happy. I see somebody who have this same attitude like myself, and I say, wow, this is a cool guy, I like that. They have also the shoe what I use, right? This is important, but I think the quantity of low pictures, something like this is cute for now, but I think we have to start to go from.
Okay. And so first of all, as you mentioned, you made that picture in 2017. I think it's quite visionary. But there is, I think, one thing I would add to this picture. It's my own opinion, is that in your picture, it looks like the two AIs are talking in like that kind of green area, that kind of ground in the middle. But I think there's one thing important that just came to my mind. I'm like, On the brand side, it's the brand AI, but on my side, it's my AI. So it's going to be my AI talking to the brand AI and have that level of communication, right? And I think this is maybe something you didn't think about in 2017. That is like coming to looking at this picture. And if you can go
this
down,
was the part. Sorry, but this was exactly
one,
what
right?
we say.
Yeah.
This is exactly we say. You have something like Oracle because you don't have one system, no one AI. You have a 6, 7, maybe 10, 20 AI systems, right? And nobody knows how to communicate to each other. There's like audio system how the AIs talk to each other. There's a few videos now you can see. So which means theoretically I just send only my wish and the rest is happen in the magic cloud. Which is quite crazy because actually we don't know what's happened there, right? And I don't believe it. One day we have something like the wow effect, Eureka, and we say, now I know how the AI do that. No, this time is over and this is too complex. We not this kind of animals, we can understand it because this kind of math, I think is a little bit too high. But what we definitely can do is the something like emotionally bridges between our clients, our communities, our customers, etc. This is our software. This is what we can do it well, and AI not.
And I have a last question for you before we go around and move to the Q&A. So you, I can see from your hair that you learned design before AI, right? So the way you learn design when you were young, how do you think designers are going to learn design in the coming years in a world where AI is available? What will be different in the way we have to teach design? Yeah.
Oh, this is a really tough topic. 2 days ago, I was talking with a colleague of mine. He's working on the one good university in New York, and he told me actually, maybe it's a little too tough to say that, but I say that just open. He say actually he believe we in the future we have humans that make some master degrees or PhD degrees before AI time and after BI time. And I strongly believe this, we go in this direction. There's a huge gap between the two kind of humans that we create now. This is not bad, not good. This is different, right? Which means I have also kids, right? And my focus, I told them, you have to learn, but she's 2. You have to learn to understand that humanity, the people, the cultures, social skills, etc. And of course, math, because math is the power. But everything else is something what we don't have any control about. And this is the focus. The true creativity is coming through the thoughts, books, etc., not through I use the tool, right? I just only one example for that. The colleague told me he's coming to the class and say, you read yesterday the book? Nobody reading book. They read some conclusion from ChatGPT, right? Which is definitely the disaster. And this is what we see now on the market. Kids use it apps, but they don't use the whole process. And the process of thinking is quite complex and it's not so really funny sometimes, right? Which means I strongly believe is, I use this word many times today, I have to change it. If you learned today, you have to learn much more about human skills and behaviors. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Darius. So Minfei, my last question to you is, what are you most excited about in the coming month? What are you most looking forward in the new AI development? Yeah.
Okay, I think the first thing that comes to my mind, as just Napoleon has mentioned, what we have seen this tool 6 months ago is definitely already a very junior level compared to now, right? So I'm thinking maybe 6 months later, we can see a tool that is even way more smarter than what we have now. So that is something that I really looking forward to. And I also want to mention those days there is a very popular tool called Manus. I think Manus is really revolutionary. I'm thinking if like Manus is more based on the language model, like for data analytics as well as the document treatment, etc. I'm thinking maybe some tool that is combine the image generation as well Manus, like AI agent for image generation that can bridge those different tools and different work streams together as an AI, as an assistant to help us. I think that may be something very interesting. And yeah, also I want to add on, as just Darius has just mentioned, I think what I'm also very looking forward to is that how people collaborate with those tools. I think in the past, past half year or past 1 year, I already see many people who are really not into technology, who are really not familiar with AI. They are starting to use DeepSeek. They are starting to get in touch with the AI, with the platforms. I think that's very interesting. You know, like I'm thinking of 6 months later, maybe more and more people will learn to how to collaborate with the tool, but also to remain as human as ourselves, to remain the creativity, to remain the human part, but organically incorporate AI into our daily life. So it's also something that I'm very looking forward.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, as you know, we at System in Motion, we deliver a lot of AI training, so we absolutely want as many people as possible to enjoy this. And then first generation, second, third, this is exactly what we want. Napoleon, so then last question for you. Where do you see the next frontier in AI? What is the next big thing that you're looking forward in terms of more like technology or the next the next frontier that AI is going to cross, you know?
It took 10 years for people to understand how to use apps on mobile phones, right? So I think there's a little bit of challenge here, right? Because 1% really understand this technology. I think there's a kind of frontier of all of the buzz, right? And all of the stuff that you see every time you go on social media that is basically marketing fluff with a little bit of people trying to sell AI.
Yeah.
Where I think the adoption, what I find interesting, is particularly in the enterprise, as well as I mean fake, because if you work in an enterprise, I used to work with big agencies, is you're looking to plug things together, right? You have a database of product, you have a customer database, you have channels. The question is, how do these all work together to make your job easier? Because typically nowadays, especially, brands will have very thin marketing teams, very thin. And then, so the challenge is, how can you seamlessly connect all of these pieces to make people's jobs easier, right? We're not talking about, you know, Darius's style of out there creativity. I'm talking about day-to-day jobs, which have a lot of menial repeat elements, right?
Yeah.
So I think, to me, the interesting part is creating the workflows that pull all of this data together and then determine what the output should be. Is it an image? Is it a video? Is it a voice? Is it an interaction, etc.?
Yeah, I think the way I usually describe it is like today, what we call creative and marketing, it's like 10% marketing and 90% just minion jobs, and making it not even 100%, making it 50-50 would be great for everybody who has that creative one, and free up all that creativity from the detailed task and editing and all that stuff, and that would be great. Yeah. And Darius, final question to you. What is the AI tool you wish existed?
Oh, I think my favorite tool, something like this is quite tough to find. I think now I work with Flora. I still 2 days I'll start to work with some new research tools, but I hope this time is never coming. And it's good. They don't have to be perfect, because in the moment we're done. I think this creativity, thinking about tools, etc. For now, I think this is Flora, and this is something what I use, and the rest of tools, I think, the next level is of combine all the tools, which is the next step is like agents, and the agent is like the new tool.
Yeah. So your wish for a new tool is no new tool. Enough. Don't throw more. We have too many already, right?
Yeah. We don't have a time to learn that. So, and there's I see what's happened online and how marketing studios start to be smaller, which is disaster, because you know, you have an agency here also in Shanghai. They have 60 people now. They have 30 people because they strongly believe I don't need a copywriter. I say, dude, you read copyright. I mean, copywriter is not only guy that writes the lines, right? It's somebody who have also thoughts. You need graphic designer, of creative designer, researcher, because there's not only like the ChatGPT make the research for myself. This is cheese. Everybody knows that. The complexity on the base, of course, on the data, right? Napoleon, you totally true, right? I need the data to make a decision and just make my life a little bit easier. But if you cut your company into 50%, you strongly believe that company will be better in the future. It's not like that.
Yeah, very true. Humans at the, I mean, I'm for AI for humanity. You know, human-centric AI design is going to be critical for everybody. Now we'll move to the Q&A. So if you have questions and you kept silent, please put them in the chat. We have a few that are already being here. So first one, there was not a question actually, Napoleon. Somebody said that sometimes the Shine model are fake. So maybe you think she's real, but she was actually fake. Just because she's on Shine doesn't mean she's a real person. Yeah. Next one. So somebody asked you.
I met her. She was quite real when I met her.
Okay, you actually met her, so that's a real person. All right. Minfei, somebody's asking you. You mentioned the name of a video editing tool. I'm not sure at the very beginning.
Yes, so it's a video editing platform. So we collaborated with an agency called 特赞. So they are a content generator based on the AI technologies. So what they do is you can upload your brand assets like different videos. Like for example, you upload 20 videos. Then they use AI to understand those videos, classify them, and then to remix and match those videos to make them to maybe 100 short videos. So that's the idea of the platform. And yes.
Misha, if you can type the name of the agency in the chat, sure. then it would be easier to find them. Or if you know their website, that's. I mean, I could have invited them, or maybe we'll invite them in a future webinar.
Yeah.
Then Napoleon, there was a question to you about a very legal question. So I know you love giving legal advice, same as me, right? So there are lawsuits about original pictures and original images. About using somebody's image like Tom Cruise. So can we generate Tom Cruise image with your platform, or did you make sure it doesn't happen? And are there laws that protects people from being abused or be like, I don't want my image to be used or generated mistakenly or voluntarily from a platform?
Okay, so you have 3 questions there. First question, can you generate Tom Cruise? Yeah. Most no. But you can generate extreme lookalikes from prompts, but we put like certain things that are not safe for work or nudity or whatever. So we can put rules and guardrails. That's one of the advantages of being a privately owned technology, is that you're putting software on top of existing trained models, right? Yeah. So it gives you a certain amount of control, yes. But like I said, we're moving away from prompts. So in a way, enterprise users don't want to let their staff, their agencies go free for all, right? They like to lay parameters. There's a design parameter, there's a look and feel, there's a, our brand can't be next to this. So there's guardrails, and this is what I mean by data, is that anybody in the business, in the corporate world, has rules that they want followed.
Okay, and then there's very little chance by randomly generating somebody who exists, right?
I don't know. I mean, you living in China with 1.3 or 1.7 billion people. There are a few people who must look quite similar. I don't know. I found that question a bit awkward, right? Because how do you, I'm sure in your lives you've seen people that look similar, true. Right? So I don't know how much control in terms of similarity. I don't know. Can you prevent similarity? Yeah, abuse of people's images is a separate existing. Celebrities have lawyers and IP. I'm sure your image, Stefan, is you haven't got lawyers going around the internet chasing to see if people are impersonating you. So
Nope.
I don't really know how to answer that one, apart from there was one about the image used for fashion. I mean, you know, we're talking about people looking plus size, young, old. These are not celebrities. When you go into the celebrity space, it's a totally different story. These, you know, these are average Joes.
But I really like your answer. I'm gonna use it. Like you have people look alike. You have lookalikes in real life. So and they don't sue each other for having the same face, right? I'm not talking about real twins separated at birth, but then you can have lookalikes in life, and that's the randomness of nature. So the same thing could happen with I like that answer. Yeah.
Well, sorry, just to add one more thing to that. I live in Bangkok, and people now all want to look like you know, Korean models. So now are they going to get sued because the surgical, you know, their facial adjustments makes him look like a famous Korean model? I don't know. I mean, to me, that's much more scary than an AI version of you. Having, you know, enhancements is terrifying.
There's worse than that. There's this. Have you seen the picture of the woman who made herself look like Barbie? It's terrifying, right? Don't Google it. I
see it every day walking down the street in Bangkok.
Okay. And finally, the last question was on, I think we can expand it because the question was about Google Ads, but I think we can expand it to Google Ads and social media. So do you see, so maybe Mingfei, did you see social media punishing AI content versus real content? Did you see that in China?
So for the case of Pernod Ricard, we are pretty cautious about this point. So as we've just mentioned, the brand consistency as well as this craftsmanship of people, it's really valued by us, like Cognac, like Martell. We want to communicate this image that we still value the power of people, right? So we acknowledge the efficiency that AI can bring us, but we are still evaluating how to use AI to communicate with consumers. So currently, we do not use publish AI image with the communication that it's generated by AI. No, we don't do that.
And Darius, did you see any platform punishing creative from using AI generated pictures? So either Google Ads or on Facebook or on WeChat or?
Yeah, we talked today about it. You have some issue with the font, etc. What start to be very important now is the music. The music is like the next level, right? We talk about the complexity, but it's like many people said a few years ago, okay, you can do it everything, but you don't have the picture. Picture is coming only for human, right? Okay, this topic is done. Now we have the next topic, which is music, and you can find of YouTube channel that have 5 million follower, and the music is quite good. This is a platform like Sumo, etc. And theoretically, you can create some kind of sound that belongs to you. It's a little bit ugly because, you know, it's not so really music. We can discuss a lot about it, but this is something it's very interesting topic now.
Okay. Thank you very much. So thank you, Napoleon, Mingfei, and Darius.